Am I the asshole for calling a guy a nepo-hire after he said I'm a diversity hire? So I, 22 female, recently started working a prestigious company that is unfortunately very male-dominated. On my team, for example, I'm the only woman. There's Asian guys, and another black guy, but it's mostly white dudes. And this is actually one of the more diverse teams. As a woman of color, it's been a challenging and oftentimes isolating experience. Anyway, one of my coworkers, M, is the nephew of the CFO, and we started our roles at the same time. He's a white guy, an entitled douchebag and incompetent emo. For whatever reason, he has disliked me from the very start, often trying to start arguments, being overly competitive, etc. It was difficult dealing with this because I didn't want to lose my job. Anyway, last month an incident occurred where my boss chose me over M to accompany him to an industry event. This really upset M, who assumed he'd be invited. He's been acting like a bigger ass ever since. This all came to a head when I got lunch with my female colleague from another department. M insisted on joining us. He started questioning me about the event, but I wasn't interested in discussing that. Then he accused me of manipulating people to get ahead, ridiculous, and that our boss obviously wants to show off his exotic diversity hire. FYI, I'm multiracial and come from a poor, dysfunctional background. M joked that I tick a lot of boxes. We argued back and forth, with him accusing me of having it easy, again ridiculous, till he once again said that I'm an obvious diversity hire, bimbo. I was extremely pissed and told him that he's a privileged nepotism baby who literally gets things handed over to him. I said that he'll forever bask in mediocrity, blissfully unaware of how utterly incompetent he truly is. I also told him that nobody will ever say that to his face, so he should be happy I'm doing him a favor. I said this knowing full well that I'd lose my job in the worst case scenario. Our colleague gasped immediately and told me to apologize to M, who looked taken aback and confused more than anything. However, I didn't apologize and just left. Later on, M told me that what I said was fucked up and crossed the line. He claimed that he didn't insult me and that I took it way too far. Then he said that I'm lucky that he's choosing not to report this. Am I the asshole in this situation? Greater than then, he said that I'm lucky that he's choosing not to report this. He's too embarrassed to report this, because what you said is true. I'm curious, did your coworker also gasp at the racist and misogynistic things this guy said and demand he apologize to you? If not, why not? Not the asshole, and wish I'd been a fly on the wall to see nepo dude's smug and entitled demeanor crumble. No, she was quiet throughout, but I'm not surprised, tbh. Wow, so now we know your coworker isn't an ally, let alone a good friend. I'm so sorry you've had to go through this original poster, and I'm sad you're looking for another job. Unfortunately, in corporate America we have to work twice as hard for half as much. I went through something similar when I was in my 20s, and I'm sad this crap is still going on. I think it's worth a conversation with HR and your boss though. This a-hole will do the same thing to someone else, and there should be a record of it. If you're at a big enough company, the bad press they would get if the media found out might be worth getting rid of him. I would absolutely tell my boss nepo-hire is a liability and sending the wrong message about how diversity is accepted at that company. I'd snitch to his uncle too. Honestly, as someone that's been in your exact position, I regret leaving on a good note and using the high road after I was accused of getting hired for being the token Latina, and a woman on top of that. I wish I had gone scorched earth. I got pushed out of my job anyways, being gracious just made it easier for the racists. Best of luck. Not the asshole, but move now. Get your butt to HR and take control of this situation. Also take responsibility for what you said. Get everything out in the open and on the record. Seriously, move now on this. Absolutely. Get ahead of this now, because he's going to start a whisper campaign against you. So your coworker from the other department doesn't say anything while he is calling you a bimbo, but once you dish it back you are the one in the wrong. Not the asshole. It's so sad in society. POC, females, minorities have to accept this behavior, yet if they dish it back to a white man it's the end of the world. Exactly. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry you had to put up with these racist jerks. The guy for being a racist misogynist, and the woman for being a racist coward. Can you ask her why she was okay with him insulting you but expected you to be a doormat? Sometimes it is necessary to make people reflect on their failure. I am a black woman and I understand how you feel, but please find a way to document this. Even if you email him saying that you wish that you two could have gotten off on a better foot, but the things that he said were inappropriate and insulting. Let him know that it is probably in both of your best interests to not communicate unless it is directly related to the job, so that we can avoid any further miscommunication, as I'm sure you didn't mean to call me a diversity hire bimbo. You are already looking for work somewhere else, so please just do this so he cannot spin the story. Then if you do get fired you at least have a case for wrongful termination. Make them uncomfortable with his behavior. Shake the FKNG table even if it is on your way out the door. Also, don't go out to lunch with that friend again. She's trash as well. Not the asshole edit. Thanks for the awards, everyone. Thank you. Don't forget to BCC yourself at an alternative account to keep a record. Document everything. Not the asshole run, don't walk to hour. I'm not going to HR, it won't make a difference anyway and I don't care. Already looking for a new job? Then do it for the persons that will be hired after you. You're already looking for another job, put a paper trail on Nepo Boy. Then next time he starts his shit, and someone else decides to take it to HR, they will see a pattern. Don't think it won't make a difference. It might not make a difference for you, it may make a difference to the next person. HR is, of course, focused on saving the company's ass. Even Nepo Boy will get the axe if the company sees he's on a paper trail for a lawsuit. Agreed. Fuck this little shit. One complaint won't make a difference, but 10 will. Look at Uber. Not the asshole. As a woman in tech where I too am also the only woman around, I would lose my shit. This is so important. 30 years ago a female engineer, ran into misogynist attitudes where I worked, large international corp. I decided that if I was going to be on my way out I would leave scorched earth behind. As it happened, 27-year-old me outmaneuvered the HR department and my collective management up through the VP level. The key one, knowing the worst thing that could happen to me was to get fired, which I considered no big deal versus retaining my self-respect, and 2, roping in the CEO by requesting his help. So, what I'm saying is in parallel go to HR and follow that process. Simultaneously personally deliver a letter to the CEO's office sincerely explaining your situation and requesting his help in ensuring the proper process is followed. Frame it in terms of not only concern for yourself and others, but for the company as well given the competitive environment in which the company operates. I suggest a concise cover letter to the CEO with an attachment that describes your experiences in detail. By the way, if the CEO is at another location, of course you can email it to him, her. But first talk to the CEO's executive secretary and broadly explain your situation while providing a heads up. Good to establish some rapport with the gatekeeper. Good luck. Not the asshole. And honestly, given that other people heard it, I'd report him to our. People can argue away a lot of stuff, but calling a female coworker a bimbo can't really be argued away. All of it violates Title VII. I'm outdated, maybe higher number now. The having it easy due to your sex, race both counts. I mean, did he go after your religion too while he was at it? Not the asshole, but girl, why aren't you reporting this? You've described a pattern of harassment in textbook, creating a hostile work environment. If anyone needs to report something to HR, it's you. I've decided I'm taking it to HR, not for myself, I'm leaving anyway, but to ensure there's a record of his asshole behavior for future reference. Good. It's hard to stick up for yourself, especially when you're the new kid, but this internet stranger is proud of you. Not the asshole. Go to HR immediately. Not the asshole, go to our and also start keeping a list, paper, phone, whatever of quotes, times, and dates of this nonsense. He sounds like nobody will hold him back, so documenting will allow at least an exit $$ check. Not the asshole. His behavior is simultaneously racial and sexual harassment. It is completely unacceptable. Another reason why he is not reporting her. Not the asshole. People like this are just not used to being told the truth to their face. They all claim it's just banter and jokes, until someone snaps back at them. Calling a woman a bimbo is also crossing a line and definitely is an insult. And this is why he's not making a report. You could have handled it more maturely, I guess, but he's the one who sat at your table univited and then proceeded to question your skills unprovipeeped. He is definitely the asshole. Also, go to HR first. Not the asshole. He's not reporting you because he knows he'll be dealt with for his words. Not the asshole. Report it to our. This is long-standing harassment. Not the asshole for standing up for yourself. I would recommend though, when people say ignorant shit like that, make all the notes about what they said, where, when, and who was around, and take it to our. Don't argue with morons. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Not the asshole. Entitled prick can dish it out but can't take it. Hope your boss is more understanding about it, though.